All right, welcome back to another episode of R&R with RTZ. I'm your host, Rahib T. Zaman, and the T stands for tumultuous.
And your co-host, Ariba Azad Zaman.
Is this licensed?
Who knows? We'll also find out when this blows up. All right. On today's episode, we have two guests with us. We have Prithvi and Moon. Would you like to introduce yourselves? Again, I guess.
You just did.
Yeah, okay. My name is Prithvi Blank Vijayanan Blank, taking applications for the blank. So please send your suggestions
It's because I couldn't say his last name.
to
Sorry.
the P.O. box.
The blanks are also his username on OnlyFans. Prithvi Blank Vijayanan Blank.
Yeah, and I'm
Like and
Manisha
subscribe.
Blank Rahman. I also don't have a middle name, but I go by Moon, so I guess that can be a middle name, a nickname.
Yeah. Munisha Moon Rahman.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
like the
that's
thing
true.
in the
That's
sky.
true.
But instead of spelling it out, you put the emoji on your birth certificate.
Yeah,
Like
you know,
driver's license, it's the emoji.
if they haven't included emojis in birth certificates yet, that's a
Aren't there some baby names?
that's a fight I'm
That is the
willing
next
to
level.
advocate for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's that real
I mean,
ID
if you can
shit.
be a
Should
cat
get it.
gender, then you can have an emoji as a name.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. So for today's episode, we're talking about the Desi wedding experience. I don't know why I'm doing the Italian fingers. But
The Desi.
The
I
Desi.
shouldn't do an accent.
No.
a gabagoo. But we, between the four of us, have been to a lot of weddings in the recent years.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us have even been part of the wedding, getting married.
That's us. Yeah. Just say it. We're even wearing matching clothes, for the visual viewers.
I'm glad Ariba clarified for the viewers.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want
for
to
the
also
listeners.
clarify
The
that I'm being
listeners.
forced against my will.
Listen, he put water
There's
in my eyes,
literally a
and I
gun
told
on
him,
my back.
I told him to be careful because I had eyeliner on, and I said, "Don't splash water in my face." What did he do? He splashes water. So this is my revenge.
Is this today or like on your wedding day?
Literally, like a few
On
minutes
my
ago.
wedding day.
A few minutes
was
ago
just taking
before,
revenge
like right
3
after you
years ago.
came.
Oh,
Yeah, right after you came over. Yeah.
okay.
So we've all been part of weddings or actually getting married. Munisha and Prithvi got to be part of our wedding as our groomsmen and bridesmaid, which was awesome.
Prithvi's my best man. Say it right.
Okay, my bad. Okay. See, I didn't want to say it because Munisha wasn't my maid of honor, and it was just awkward now. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just glad to be included.
Aw, Moon. So wholesome.
Happy
And
to
then
be there.
recently, they've both been a groomsman and a bridesmaid to 2 separate weddings. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to have you guys on and talk about your experience before COVID, during our wedding, and after COVID, during these 2 other weddings. And, you've also been part of different cultures. Sure, they're Desi, but, one's more Pakistani, the other one is Indian, and ours was Bengali. So maybe tell us your perspectives on all 3 of those and how different they were, how similar they were.
We can start
which one you
simple
love the
with a
most, which is ours.
comparison. How did it feel? Was Prithvi your Indian? So how does the Indian weddings feel to you, or rather, the Tamil weddings for you?
Yeah. Honestly, it feels very similar to like your wedding, like Bengali weddings. It's a multi-day event. It's like it's a marathon. It's very long. It's a lot of like I don't know. It's very similar. Like I can't really think of any specifics.
Was there
But
a
in terms
horse
of,
at
like,
ours?
There's a what?
Was there a horse at ours?
No, so I guess like aside from certain rituals, the overall like flow of it seems very similar. There's like a religious aspect to it. It's like a combination of like a traditional and a modern approach, right? Like there's the ceremonies and rituals that we do, but then there's also a reception.
Right.
It's like a multi-day thing. Yeah, I think your guys' wedding was how many days was it?
Technically 2. 2 events in one day, and then that one event. And then I had a 3rd event, but that was more with my family friends. So Munisha was there, but I don't think you were there. No, you weren't there. You were doing karaoke with
That was
Raheem.
the 4th event.
That was part of the
That was the
itinerary.
event.
Yes. Forever with Lulu's.
But yeah, no, it's actually, I think there's more similarities than there are differences.
Mhm.
I think the main differences are just in the specific customs and cultures, like the cultural differences. But I think there's definitely more similarities.
That's true.
I did kind of like at the Indian wedding, the whole rice on the head thing. We don't have that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's one of those like
Is it
specific.
religious?
Yeah, I don't even know if that's
Well, I think
all
that's
of India. I think
Oh,
that's
it's just
that
a
might be
Telugu ritual or Gujarati?
Telugu people do it. I think Telugu people do it. Tamil people do it. I don't know if it's specific to a region.
Right.
Not too well versed, but
Okay.
So
I don't think it's common in like all Indian weddings.
Right.
Because like they had the rice and we have like giving fish to each other dressed up as brides and grooms. So I
Yeah,
think I
that's
prefer
a-
the rice on
That's
the
a
head.
good. That's a good question. What are the Moon? I know you've been to a lot of weddings. What are the weirdest, in your opinion? What are the weirdest things you've seen?
Honestly,
wedding.
Bengali weddings can be pretty wild, right? And I've been to one earlier this year just as a guest, but it was amazing, quite lovely. It was a very lovely spring wedding. But I think the concept of just having multiple days dedicated to a wedding is always just really fun to be able to explain to your coworkers. And then like, since most of my workplace is pretty non-Desi, they're always just like, yeah, sure, I won't question it.
You can tell
What a
anything
nice
and they'll
way,
believe it.
Yeah.
non-Desi. Say what you mean.
Yeah, but like I mean it's I like explaining to them like, oh yeah, we have competitions where it's a very much a competition between bridesmaids and groomsmen to make sure to have a dance off between like the both of them for or you know, the fact that you have to explain that you had to pay $1,000 to get your shoes back.
Yeah.
So like that's a fun tradition
It's
to
like
be
those
able to
tweets.
explain. Yeah,
Or
like
explaining
the
like the gate game. You had to
gate
pay-
Gate game.
You know,
Oh
so
my
I actually
God.
learned recently that that's like a, I guess, Bengali thing. I don't know if it's as popular or it's in Indian weddings as well. But so my friend got married recently, and she's Pakistani, and they didn't do that. They didn't do a gate thora or.
I think it is a Bengali thing.
Yeah,
Because I've
so
never heard of
to the
Indian people doing it either.
audience who might not be as well versed, pretty much what we do, everything is associated with money. You know, when it comes to these
Yeah.
wedding things,
And it's always the groom giving
It's
the money.
always because it's always
It's
like
never the bride.
Culturally, it's like we're sending off the bride to be off with the groom and like
Yeah,
do
so
all-
can you afford her?
So the most amount of bullying should go to the groom. This is
Yes.
you know
The lesson here is
equality.
buying love is the answer.
Absolutely. And so the way that the gate Torah works is like the groom and his whole party try to come to the wedding venue or whatever, like before the main event starts, and before they can have access into it, the bride side holds them up with like a little ribbon or scarf or whatever at the gate, and they don't let them pass, and there's a lot of yelling until they pay a certain amount. So it's like, you know, the troll at the bridge, but much more
So
colorful.
the bride side
much
is the
more
troll.
colorful. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Dressed
pretty
up trolls.
trolls.
They-
Yeah, we're
they-
like
We're the trolls with the gems on their stomach
Right.
and the pretty hair.
exactly.
That cartoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a
troll
throwback.
dolls? The
Yes, the
troll-
troll
trolls with the
dolls.
Z?
Yeah, you don't mess with us, you know. Or it's like Gremlins. Like if you don't feed us, or like, you know, we get to that stage. So if you don't give us money, we're gonna beat you up.
So Raheem, how much did you pay to come see me?
Right.
Your
First of
beautiful
all,
wife.
I had to
How
give up
much
my
did you
car.
pay?
Apparently,
We all signed NDAs. We don't disclose the negotiations.
Yeah.
I was given an
After.
envelope to give to the to your side of the family. I didn't even
Yeah.
look inside. I didn't question
It's
it.
so funny.
I was just like,
Sometimes
this is the money.
Sometimes
Give
you'll
it.
see them and they'll just like toss it into the like Kobe, you know, like they'll just like toss it into the crowd and like see who gets it. So
These are one of the wedding events that like can get really crazy. Like I've heard stories like Ariba's side, the people were like fighting.
Oh my gosh.
stuff.
Once back at home, I went to a wedding and it was for my cousin's wedding.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were straight up fighting to the point where like somebody was like cussing someone else out in Bangla. And
It's serious.
Like it got scary.
It's serious.
To preface the whole point of the gate thing, yes, it's like, you know, to invite the groom in and see how much he'll pay, but the money goes to the little kids. So
Yeah,
like, it's supposed to be really
exactly.
fun and it's cheerful nowadays. It's not like, you know, a whole money thing. It's just for the kids. But oh my gosh, during that wedding, that those families just freaked out on each other, and the kids were like, "Yeah, we don't want the money anymore. Like, just let us in."
Same thing with the shoes. Like at the wedding I went to recently, it's always like we tag team with the kids, like the bridesmaids. We like partner with the kids, and so like when there was photos happening, you know, because like everybody wants to get their photo with the bride and groom. When they were up, they just like ducked under and grabbed the groom's shoes and just like tossed it over to our table, and like we had to like I think like one of the girls actually booked it into the girls' bathroom. Shout out to Tameen, you did great there, girl. And like barricaded herself in the girls' bathroom so that the groom's side wouldn't be able to, you know, come inside and get the shoes. So yeah, and then like afterwards, whatever the money was like collected, like all that time, as what like Ariba was saying, it's like it's always fun for the kids. Like the money just goes to the family, like the kids to have fun and
like the little
be able to
cousins
enjoy
and
it, because usually they're not, you know, weddings can usually be a tedious event for the kids.
Literally anyone that's
who's
in the
not
bridal
involved
party.
in it. Yeah, so it's kind of a way for them to be able to interact a little bit and have fun in their culture. So
speaking of which, I feel like we just went to a wedding when it got a little chaotic with the shoes.
Yeah, I was gonna touch on that a little
Yeah.
bit.
Did you tackle someone?
So kind of like going back to the whole gate thing. So I think that's also common in Indian weddings, but I don't know if there's a money aspect. I don't know if there's like a toll. But there's definitely a groom's
no trolls?
family.
No trolls?
The trolls are like the groom's family comes and the bride's family, I guess the trolls under the bridge, they're just like, oh, welcome.
It is
come.
welcoming them.
It's a very friendly, warm trolls.
Like,
so there's
so
no
their
payment.
money
That's like
game
the-
for like Indian weddings are with the shoe game. Ours is for the gate game. We don't technically have a shoe game.
Okay, yeah.
We have the gate version.
Yeah, so at this
Well, no,
wedding,
we still
We did
too.
steal Rahib's
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah,
let's
'cause
like
we-
get that
Yeah,
out
but
there.
I never
Like-
heard of that at a Bengali wedding though.
I have.
Oh, I've seen it.
I've seen it at all the weddings. It's just not as big as it is in
I think
Indian
so.
weddings.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I think
think-
it's a little transfer because the
Yeah.
cultures are so intertwined.
Yes, I think it is a
Seeping into each
transfer.
other.
yeah, okay, so at this past wedding, I was at, this is for our close friends Kavya and Anuj, and so the shoe game is split between the bride side and the groom side.
Oh,
And the groomsmen have the groom's shoes, and the what is the word? The bridesmaids.
Yeah,
The bridesmaids are trying to get the shoes from the groomsmen. And
That's how it was for us.
it started very like jovially, started very friendly. And then it got to a point where it became like a competition. And here's the thing, on the groom side, one of Anuj's groomsmen is Varun, who is Kavya's, the bride,
Yeah.
her cousin. So he's kind of he has a foot in both camps.
double agent.
He's a double agent a little bit.
Quite literally.
So we were all like, all the groomsmen are plotting. We're like, oh, where are we gonna take his shoes? And then Varun's in the huddle, like he's like a double agent in the huddle. He's like, yeah, where are we taking the shoes? And then he turned, and then we're all like trying to keep it away from him. And here's the thing, Varun is a big guy. He's like 6 something. He plays rugby.
Oh,
So
geez,
literally
of course
this
he does.
quickly devolved into a miniature game of rugby in the ceremony hall, and it didn't stop. So the ceremony's continuing. Kavya and Anuj are on the stage, and they're in the middle of the ceremony. They're like throwing rice and stuff, and this priest is like saying all the prayers and things. And then if you look 20 feet to the side, there's like a scrum of there's just bodies flying. You see a shoe, like I'm sure in the video, if you like it's like framed on them, you'll see like a shoe like flying across the screen. There's like people running.
I think the worst part is that Varun, like he said, is a giant dude who plays rugby, and the one person who was fighting the most with Varun was Krish, who's like 4'5", shaped like a ball, and he's just tackling Varun for some reason, trying to get the
Let's
shoe.
not say that, because someone's gonna show him that and he's gonna come for you, calling him a
Krish?
ball.
Okay,
He'll get Varun on you. He plays rugby.
throw them a shoe.
Krish had the most fight in that group.
He was
got
tenacious.
His clothes got torn.
Yeah, they both like
there
both
was
their
torn
kurtas
clothes.
got-
Oh my god.
Literal blood was spilled.
yeah.
Someone was bleeding.
It was intense.
But it was also very
Didn't-
memorable. Like that, I
Didn't a girl get hit
don't
in the
think
face?
I'll ever have as much fun in the ceremony part of a wedding
Yeah.
as I did in that one.
Yeah.
Didn't some girl get hit in the face?
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay,
I'm sure someone
that's
did.
what Rachna told me.
Yeah,
Rachna was
for
also
sure.
a bridesmaid for that same wedding Prithvi was in.
Who are you telling that to?
Rachna, who's listening.
She didn't know. She doesn't remember.
So
I know she listens, so.
I did have a
Hi.
question. Who ended up winning?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
What
the
happened?
Is there a winner in that situation?
Yeah,
oh yeah,
what
no,
happened?
yeah, the
Whoever's-
groom side won.
Very
sure.
nice.
Woo.
I don't know what the bride side
Oh,
will
you
tell
know
you,
what? The
but
bride
groom
side,
side
the
won.
entire time afterwards, the bride side kept saying they were cheating.
Oh, right.
Because
I remember
apparently
that. I remember
Kyrie
that.
like hid it somewhere where it was not accessible to anyone but Kyrie.
I see.
Oh my
according
God. I
according
heard-
to the
what
bridesmaids,
is that place that's only accessible to Kyrie?
his butthole.
his,
like, what is it? It's like, what is
his
he
little
putting in?
purse that he carries.
You think that's not accessible to some people?
Hey, it's only a state of mind. What's not
Listen, his
accessible?
purse
what's
that he carries
accessible.
all the time,
Sorry, Kyrie.
he cannot. He does not let people look into that.
I heard a similar story. It was like Anika and Shoaib were telling me the story at their wedding or a friend's wedding. Like they were getting so intense about the shoe game that the groomsmen hid it in their cars
Oh, amazing.
during the ceremony and stuff.
okay, that's like a
So then, no one would know where it was or how to even look in the parking lot outside the venue. So then the bridesmaid got mad and like they stole the groom's clothes
Oh my god.
from the dressing rooms and stuff. It like kept getting escalating.
Oh
It was
no!
like to the point where like Anika was like, "I'm gonna call the cops. Shut the fuck up."
Oh my god, that would ruin
Jeez.
our wedding
Yeah.
completely. I'm glad that our shoe thing was not
Sheesh.
that big.
Yeah.
Do you know who won?
Yeah. So we
You
didn't.
guys stole the shoes. I don't think.
I don't remember.
Yeah, you did steal the shoes.
That's why I was making a look earlier because I was like, so when I initially thought you said bridesmaids versus grooms, I thought you were saying that like the bride side tried to steal the groom's shoes and the groom side tried to steal the girl's shoes. And I was like, girl.
It's
but-
just the groom shoes.
okay.
but-
So the way that we've always the way that I've seen it played out usually is that the groom side is trying to protect the shoes, so
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
just
yeah.
trying to
Keep
watch
it.
and not
I
get
think
anybody
for
through
Kavya
the-
and Anuja's ceremony, they had to take off their shoes.
I see. Okay.
So the shoes were already off. So the grooms were like, okay, let's defend it.
Easy access.
Yeah,
of
it's going to be
course.
easy access to the
Yeah.
girls. But for ours, I
Big brain,
remember
big
when we
brain.
took off our shoes to dance, either right after or right before, either Rajvi or Rachna ran
Yeah.
and got them.
I think Raju
Yeah.
got them.
Yeah.
And she I have a photo on my Insta stories still.
yeah.
I remember people running around in your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It was at the
vaguely
end.
remember-
It was
yeah.
at the
There's a
end.
little scrum.
But who won?
It was scrum.
It was
I
yeah,
gave up
oh,
immediately.
So the girls
I
won.
was like, I was
Yeah,
not,
there was
Oh,
no
okay.
I was
fight.
not
There was
gonna
no
chase.
fight. It was
Babe,
None of us
we-
wanted to chase.
The girls won at ours.
Yeah.
So, ha.
There we go.
Well, it sounds like the bride side went and got his shoes to start the game. So you started with his shoes.
Yeah. But then you guys never got them back.
yeah.
No, we're supposed to have them. I thought.
No,
right?
no,
And
no,
then
no. You don't.
steal them from
No,
us.
technically, you can take them off the groom's feet and start the game like that too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
that's the
Anuj
way-
and Kavya's were different because
Take
they
them
already
off my
had to-
feet. I'm still walking
yeah.
and they trip me and take
No,
my shoes.
I've
That's
seen
what
that.
happens.
Mug you
Yeah.
for your
That's actually what
shoes.
happened.
That's what I've seen at
In your
some
dress.
weddings.
That's
That's what
mugging.
happened to Asra's too. That's my friend Asra's the one that got married recently. And same thing, like the kids when they went
Yeah.
up during the photos, they just like ducked under and grabbed the
Yeah,
groom's
yeah.
shoes. And same thing
So
at
you can do both.
at Ariva. Did you just block that out, Arheev? You're just like I
They
don't remember
didn't do
anyone
it.
touching
No,
my
no,
They
feet.
did it during
he
the
took-
story when we were
oh,
dancing.
oh,
or
I
something.
Yeah,
see.
yeah. He
Got
took them off
it.
to dance.
Oh, I thought you just
Or-
like blocked
They
it out.
didn't,
It's
they
like,
didn't mug me in the middle of the ceremony.
can you imagine?
Russia's under the stage, just
What
like
is it?
tickling my feet
You're
and
like-
taking my shoes off.
Your little niece Anaya just coming in and just
Oh my
grabbing
God.
them. That's I'm
No, she wasn't little then. Maya was the
Maya,
little one. Naya
oh.
was 13.
Oh.
She was,
Oh, that's a good. We should have used small children. They couldn't have tackled small children.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what we should have.
oh, you should have. There was a lot of
Smart.
people at that wedding.
That's smart.
yeah.
I feel like
So
Chris would've
I have-
tackled a small child.
I have a really important
Future
question.
plans.
For the weddings that you guys went to and, experienced ours as well, clothing-wise, what differences did you see? What similarities, colors, etc., things like that?
I think I wore one of the outfits you provided for Kavya and Anuja's wedding. Again, I think it's more similarities than differences. Everything is
Yeah.
kind of like
I want to say Esther's and my wedding were more because we're Muslim, we have to like cover our shoulders and certain whatever. So I think our clothes are it looks almost more gorgeous because there's more fabric covering us with the embroidery and gems and whatever else. However, Kavya's outfits were all just, even though they were like short sleeve and whatever, so beautifully done. Like the sleeves were just so different. Like the puffy, like the, you know what I mean? Like for her first day, she wore, I don't know. It was just like really cool looking and just things that me and Esther would not have been able to do for our weddings because of how it would sit on our bodies, but it just looks so cool in my mind. Like that's a huge difference that I see culturally, because Pakistanis and Bengalis are more conservative with our clothing compared to Indian clothing because of religious reasons. And I just found hers to be so beautiful because of the different things that she could do with it. So I did notice that difference.
Yeah, Gabi was definitely dripping.
Yeah, she was head to toe. Oof.
Also, I love
Beautiful.
the overlap. I think both South Indian culture and Bengali culture heavily emphasize sharis or saris.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I think we rock them pretty well. And Kavya, like from the photos I saw, were stunning, just sari sets. So
yeah, she wore sari for... I know, South Indian, they wear saris for their traditional
I love
ceremonies.
The way that the South Indian style is done with the belts.
It's like classical
it's
almost.
so beautiful.
It's so pretty.
Really, really big fan.
Yeah.
It's really clean and but still really elegant. So,
and then the funniest part is when you talk about the dudes, it's all the same. Literally, Anuja's outfit, Rahib could have worn. Rahib's outfit, Anuj could have worn. I mean, they all, they look very handsome, and they do stand out compared to the regular dudes that are just there. But most of the outfits from culture to culture are very similar. I'm sure Yassine wore very similar clothes that Rahib would have worn.
Yeah. And what was actually really sweet, so Asra she's Pakistani, Yassine is actually half Mexican, half Turkish. And so for they had two events, and for the Mehndi, he actually wore a traditional Turkish, he wore a suit, and he wore a Turkish cape or scarf around him and danced with it. It was really cool to see.
See, that's really cool.
And it was nice for him to be able to kind of like represent his culture one day, and then like for the actual reception, which is where the bride usually wears like the red and gold. He did wear like a sherwani,
nice,
and got like
that's cool.
Got like the full hat. My bad, sorry guys. The setup is new for me. And so yeah, it was really nice. It was super pretty, and it was cool to see like the combination of cultures being represented.
That's a good combination. But can you imagine doing it for like, since we're all something and American, doing that for us, like if I wore a lungi and a dress shirt, that's my Bengali American.
Dude, no,
mix.
actually, at my friend Rice's,
you wear a fancy lungi.
Yeah, that makes a difference.
Embroidered.
Yes.
At my friend Rice's, Holud, her husband wore a lungi.
Oh my god, really?
Missed opportunity.
It was so cool.
We're having another Hulud.
Yeah.
So
just so you can wear a
fully decked out.
That's awesome.
In Tamil culture, there's that you actually can do that.
Yeah.
It's so you wear. It's not a lungi, it's a veshti, right? So I think it's just like.
Wasn't Anuj wearing something similar?
A formal version of.
He was wearing pants?
I don't think he was wearing a veshti yet.
Oh, I could have sworn it looks dressish. So, now I can't remember.
During the Sangeet,
I think he had a long.
Okay.
Sangeet, he's maybe wearing a long.
You know, Manisha's experience is pretty cool because she went to a Pakistani and Turkish/Mexican wedding, which is pretty cool. Was there any Mexican sprinkled in there?
So his
Mexican sprinkled. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they were just throwing tacos at the appetizer.
Was the food
they were throwing rice, brown rice, cilantro rice.
They played a lot of Turkish music on the dance floor, which was great.
I thought you were gonna say Bad Bunny.
They did play Bad Bunny.
Okay,
to be fair, we play Bad Bunny at all our weddings
I think
too.
They played Bad Bunny. But also, what was really sweet was that for his entrance songs, because like when like the bride enters, the groom enters, for the groom's entrance song, Yassine actually chose like a Mexican song for his entrance, and it was really sweet.
It wasn't
Gasolina. It was not
Gasolina.
Gasolina. But it was really sweet.
Gasolina. And he walks in, he's like,
yeah. And what's actually interesting, I'm not thinking about it in terms of my bridesmaid attire. So for Ariva's was she's the real one. Her mom got like matching saris for all the bridesmaids. I got them. You got them. There we go. I'm so sorry. I literally thought your mom was the one that was like getting them.
So that you wouldn't have any consideration for your bridesmaids.
Picked them and I picked them and I bought them online.
She did amazing. Okay, edit it. Ariva worked extremely hard to find the most beautiful dresses for both the reception and the guy holod for her bridesmaids. So shout out to the real one over here. And so that was a really cool experience. That was my first time being a bridesmaid. So having to get it tailored. Yeah, that was my first time being a bridesmaid. Actually,
she kept saying it. You don't remember?
Yeah.
God. She also said
it's my first time being married.
I didn't get to pick a ring, so like.
And so the second time for us wedding, the Navy theme came back because for her reception, she got us all matching shawls from Pakistan, and it was navy and gold. So when I saw that, I was like, a little throwback. But hers was a little bit more like just wear whatever. Like she gave us color schemes, so that was interesting dynamic, like difference in dynamic. Where she was just like, oh, for the mehndi, just wear jewel tones, and then for the reception, just wear white and gold. So yeah, it was cool to see the outfit options that I was able to have as a participant for these different types of weddings. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So another question, I guess this is more for Prithvi or anyone who's attended a lot of like Indian or South Indian weddings. I know I filmed a few where they have to intertwine like the religious part to an auspicious time of the day. And often for that in America is a very crack of dawn, literally crack of dawn type of moment. 4 a.m., 5 a.m., everyone has to be there to start the ceremony. What's the earliest you've gone for a wedding?
The earliest I've gone, I think, it's been like 6 a.m., which is early, but it's not like crack of dawn. But even then, I think that was only in India.
Okay.
Like, I think they do that here too, but it's not like a whole event for everyone. I think it's just like bridegroom, immediate family. Yeah, like I don't.
Yeah, because I filmed a Tamil wedding, and we had to be there at 4 a.m. and the ceremony was at 5. So that was, and we were there like all day till like noon till like 1. But I don't know. Being there, being paid to be there is one thing, but being a guest there at 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning, whatever, I don't know if I would do that.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's like horoscopes, right? It's like it's not up to you.
Right.
It's like whatever time it is, you're just kind of like, oh, fine, I guess I'm doing this.
Yeah, it could be like in the middle of the night, like at 2 in the morning, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It depends on the stars.
Auspicious time.
The stars align. Didn't like Kavya and Anuj like have some sort of ceremony to figure out the date of their wedding that they're supposed to have it?
I think they did. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure they did.
That's a typical thing, right?
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say that saying it out loud even sounds familiar, but I remember someone telling me that
My friend had that, Pavlika. She had like a event at her house, and they announced the time that they'd be getting married at that event. It was a really beautiful event. It was my first time actually at a religious engagement ceremony, a Hindu religious engagement ceremony. So that was really lovely. And they did a great job there too. It was right in their house, and her sisters had decorated like the space during the morning. So, and we had to be there at a certain time to make sure that we were timing it with the priest that was coming there. So,
I always find the differences in the religious things that we all do at weddings is so interesting. Like, sure, it can be very tiresome and long as a guest just sitting there watching, especially when you're just watching from a TV screen. But it's still really cool to see all the different things and all the different, like Kavya's wedding had all these different fruits and the rice thing and like some other stuff that I didn't even understand.
You were interested by the fruit?
Yeah, it was interesting.
The fruit?
Yeah, I was like, what are you going to do with all that fruit? Like, you're not going to eat it?
That's what you're wondering about?
Yes. Straight up, I was like staring like, what is he going to do? What's next? And then one point the camera got covered and I was like, okay. And then it zoomed up to a bald head and I was like, oh, okay.
That one photographer got in front of the video camera.
I don't think he was a photographer thing. He was an uncle.
No, he was a photographer.
Oh, just kidding.
Yeah, I think it just like goes to show like when it's like when we talk about South Asia is a massive area, guys. Like, it's like I've had like non-Desi friends be like, oh, I've always wanted to go to an Indian wedding. I'm like, you got to be more specific when you talk about that. You know, we have a whole variety. Like, you know, it's like a
Punjabi wedding.
Pull out of a
is
hat.
very different.
Like, oh yeah, exactly. Like spin the wheel. Like what wedding experience are you looking for? And so it's really cool to see. And there is overlap, which is always like nice because even when you're like a newcomer at these weddings or these traditions, at least you have an idea or a background. But oftentimes going in blind also does teach you a lot of like, this is why they do this and this is why they do that. So yeah.
One fun thing I've always noticed as someone who's films or takes pictures of weddings, that there's always uncles who will do that as well for free. They'll come in, they'll be like an uncle to the bride or groom, and they'll be taking pictures. Yeah. And they'll be like, yeah, let me get in the shot. I'm like, no, dude, I'm getting paid to do this. Why are you doing this?
I have a bunch of pictures from our Hulu that one of our family friends, one of our uncles, took pictures of. And they're not the best quality, but he had his like DSLR. Like I remember him standing right next to our photographer saying, oh, you got the shot? Okay, my turn. Aww. And I'm like, it's sweet, yes. And I have the pictures and it's great memories, but yes, the person is there to get paid to do the thing. Like,
I understand the sentiment though, because I think when people do that, it's more for themselves. Yeah. They want to have pictures from the wedding.
From the wedding of the person that they care about,
the bride and the groom.
Yeah.
And sometimes pictures take a long time to
and they want it quick. Yeah.
You know, like you want to
it's kind of like
have
why
something
we take
to like share with your family, like people back home.
Like some events there'll be DSLR cameras and stuff, but then you'll want a picture on your phone as well. Because I've been guilty of doing that.
My issue is that in these days you can just easily share the pictures with everyone. So wouldn't you rather have the highest quality picture? Yeah. With the best posing with whoever knows what they're doing. Rather than have the picture ruined by everyone taking a picture left and right.
Yeah.
What I'm sure is a shared experience with all of us is getting when you're about to take a bite of your food and the camera turns to you. Like, how many times have we had that happen, folks? Where it's like,
I love that. That's
like the old school wedding videos.
Like, oh my gosh! Whenever I'm just like looking, it's like all the photos are just like people just like shoveling down the food, and it's always so funny.
They're only filming during the dinner portion when everyone's eating.
Exactly, the most important time.
Just snaking through each table, getting shots of people like. Oh.
Yeah, and it's like, and if you're eating, like, if it's a Bengali one, and everyone's eating with their hands, so it's getting right into the literal meat of things.
We are not talking to anyone. It's all, for the next 15 minutes, you are just hustling to get the buffet food, because it will be a buffet, and, you know, making the best of it.
There's some really folksy traditional song in the background.
Of course, yeah, because no one's paying attention. Like if there's a family with kids, you know they're going to be telling the kids to go back and get some more. For the better of the for the good of the family. Yeah. And they're going to be like, if you don't eat now, you're not going to eat the rest of the night. Right. There's always that threat happening in the back. I did warn like my brown friends when they're at my friend's wedding to be like, you know, once the food is announced, you need to get in line. Otherwise you will not get food.
They're serious about the food, man.
Ooh. Absolutely.
Dude, at our wedding was, one of my aunts were complaining that they ran out of food when they were just going back to the kitchen to get more because people were, we had 700 people, so this is hard to feed everyone.
We had 500
constantly.
People. We invited 700.
Invited 700.
Oh
500 came.
Yeah, 200 said nah, but we still paid for those invitations, didn't we?
No, we didn't.
Did you pay for food
no,
for
our parents paid for those. My bad.
Pay for the fruits?
No, did you pay for food for 700
No.
people?
No.
Okay. So we got 500 RCP, so we paid for that much.
But speaking of food, our food was the best, right, guys?
Oh, it was pretty.
You wouldn't know.
I know.
I got one bite of the butter chicken. I got one bite of the butter chicken.
Do you remember?
No, it was bomb.
May I? Okay, so Monisha didn't get to eat, not because she was the bride or the groom or busy doing bridesmaid things. It's because she was busy catching her hair on fire.
It was a very quick moment. So like we were all running around, and my friends who were at the wedding and were not part of the bridal party were kind enough to actually make a plate for me, and they set it up on my table where we were sitting. And I finally finished whatever I was doing. I think I was just cleaning up some things, and then like I came back. As I'm walking towards my table, I see a lady coming over and picking up my fully untouched plate of food and walking away. And I'm like running over to her. I'm like, ma'am, excuse me, that's my food. Ma'am, excuse me, that's my food. And she's like not even looking around. She like looks around for a second, makes eye contact with me, and then immediately turns back around. And like I'm reaching over, and as I am, my fully hairsprayed like curls, there was like floating candles that are beneath there. They like caught on immediate fire, and one of Rakib's friends, Rakib, shout out, like literally ran over and just like patted it down.
He brought this up the other day. He was like, I saved your friend Moon's life, and I was like, what?
No, that was like my life literally flashed before my eyes. And you know what the wildest thing was? Nothing happened. My hair, nothing like there was like maybe like the ends were singed or something but like I didn't lose any hair. Nothing happened to my dress.
Hairspray protected you.
Hairspray protected me somehow. Like somebody it was crazy, and I was like, I think I was just like so embarrassed of it at the time because there was this like sudden like smell of like burning hair, and
I smelled it from the stage.
Yeah, and like I immediately had to just like run to the bathroom, and my friend Sava followed me. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No, I'm just embarrassed, dude. Like I can't go out there.
I'll come back in 20 minutes. Can you distract them with a story or something?"
No, I can't go back out there. That was so embarrassing. And she's like, "Are you okay though?" When I'm asking you about your like, "Are you good?" And
Funny
so,
enough,
yeah.
that wasn't the first fire issue in that wedding. While we were taking pictures, we did the stupid thing and told people to come up to take pictures after the ceremony and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Which, if you do that with the whole hall of 500 people, you'll never leave
Yeah.
the stage.
And there was candles on the stage.
There was candles on the stage, and some people like knocked it over, and I was like, I had
Oh
to
my
stop the
gosh.
procession of pictures to pick up the candles so we didn't catch
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah.
And then some family was, I didn't even know who this family was. They were like, they got mad at me because I stopped them from taking the picture, so the whole place wouldn't burn down.
Oh
I was like, okay, sorry, I saved your life.
yeah.
Excuse me.
How dare they get mad at the groom?
The hero's
Goodness.
burden.
Yeah, truly.
It's tough to believe.
So,
Well, back to the food question.
yeah, so
though.
I did not get to eat that night.
But
All that
Dang,
to
I'm the
say.
only one here who ate at your
the
wedding.
only one apparently.
Whoa.
I had
you.
a bite of butter chicken.
I'm sorry for you guys. It
I
was
did
very
eat
good.
I did eat the guy at the Guy Halut. That was very good food. So that was good.
Oh, then the
The halal Chinese food that my mom overbought. Yeah, delicious. There was okay. Let me just tell you.
I took what I could get.
Let me
girl,
tell you a quick
know?
story. quick story. That night after the hulud, all that Chinese food, so little people ate, and also like part of his side of the family didn't even show up. So we had so much food left over. We had buckets and buckets in that storage room in our basement. Like literally buckets of food to the point where my mom took 2 carloads to the mosque to donate
Wow.
to
We're
like
eating good
homeless
that
people.
day.
Yeah.
They were eating good that day.
But like that's how much food my mom bought, overbought.
Better
but-
over than under.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
always
That
say.
is true, but she was also expecting like 10 times more people, but I guess I
Yeah.
don't know what ended up happening.
Also, what I find to be really funny at Desi, I guess Desi Muslim weddings, because they don't have alcohol, is to replace that, they have coffee bars. And so, like, even if the wedding's at 8 p.m., you will see people pulling up to the coffee
Yeah.
like area because you need to be caffeinated to stay up for the rest of these events. 'Cause
Our alcohol is caffeine.
yeah, that's our drug of choice.
Yeah.
Can be
so,
worse.
yeah, coffee and cha or chai. So they have like full,
Cha tea?
yeah, chai tea.
Chai tea. Oh my God, I
Yes.
love chai
Me
tea.
too. Great stuff. So you will always see
It means
those.
tea tea.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you were looking at Raheem like you didn't know what the joke was, so I
No, he's
felt like I
looking
had
at
to
me because
explain
that
it.
was a joke.
No, I was looking
Attempt.
for some witty commentary about
Raheem
There's
doesn't. He's not witty.
neo-colonialism or something. I don't know.
Say chai tea
Wait
again.
for me in a little
Chai
bit. Hold
tea.
on. I'll think of something in a bit. Don't worry.
Tea tea.
Hey, there we go.
Thanks.
Commandeered the soundboard.
Filmed in front of a live studio audience.
All right, my food question was, what is the best wedding cuisine you've had so far? Let's do cultural. So, Bengali, Pakistani, Tamil, Telugu, Mexican, Turkish.
American.
This one's pretty easy.
American.
Gabi and Anuja's wedding, they had a dosa stand.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
It was like
Yeah, it was fantastic. And
Oh.
I'm a little biased
love
because
those.
This is a bad
Dosas
time to
are
tell you
favorite,
I don't
right?
like dosas.
yeah, those are not good.
Oh,
for
I
you.
yeah, I
love
don't care.
dosas.
It's,
It's a good
it's my
food.
favorite.
I'm a
He
fan.
said
Well, that's
it's
like
my
that's something you grew
my
up on,
prison
right?
dish
Yeah.
is dosa.
You grew up on
You
that,
say it's
right?
a
Yeah.
prison dish?
No, like
You know,
if
like
you're
when
dying in
you're-
prison.
you're-
Let me
I
clarify.
thought they serve that in
Your
prison.
like last day,
No,
like as a prisoner.
Italy is a prison dish.
It's your
Italy is so good.
like
oh my
dosa
gosh.
is the
Yeah.
like
Final
you're
meal.
on death row.
Okay.
Yes,
death row
yes.
dish.
Your final
Yeah.
meal.
your final meal.
Two
That's what
very
it's called.
different things.
prison meal.
Clarification. Yeah, no. But they had a dosa. It was a
Sick.
stand. It was like a.
It was really a
They were doing it
stand.
like on the spot, right? So
Yeah,
people just come up with order.
So it was nice and hot and
Nice and hot.
fresh.
That's funny. All 3 places I've had dosa were all related to Kavya. Either at her house where her mom made it years ago, and then her engagement ceremony, like 2 years before the wedding, and then at her wedding.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to the Rouse.
It's still not good though.
I love dosa. It's so good.
It's okay to have bad opinions.
Yeah,
It's okay to be wrong.
It's
you
okay,
know?
guys. You're just wrong.
Okay, I would have to say goat biryani is like my favorite, especially when the biryani, like the goat itself is very tender and falls off itself, like it's just falling apart on the plate, and and the potatoes.
I really
It's just so good.
I really love chaat. So like any kind of like chaat
Oh yeah.
mix.
Oh,
that
yes,
hits.
yes.
And
Yeah.
it's like you can
Only
eat
if
that
the
as a
crispy
snack.
parts are crispy, not soggy.
Yeah, you know, yeah, and that's why it's like I've seen like stations where they do like the chat stations at like my friend's event. They did like a we call it chat. What is it when you crack it in
The
the
pani puri.
Pani
pani
puri.
puri? Well, pani puri say fuchka.
তুমি
Yeah.
বাংলা বলতে
Oh,
ভুলে
I was
গেছো?
like, I'm totally blanking. What do we call that?
হেলা, দেখছো?
Fuchka, pani puri, golgappa, whatever you call
আমরা
it.
বাঙালি, আমরা ফুচকা কাল
There you
করি।
go. So it completely blanked. I was like, I'm about to get my Bangla card revoked right
Yeah.
Bangla card.
right now.
Oof.
I totally blanked. But yeah,
My
so
dad is rolling in his grave right now.
yeah.
She went to Bangla school for this? Oh, you didn't
I
go.
didn't go to Bangla
Damn.
school.
That's why.
That explains
See,
it,
this is
guys. That explains
This is
it.
actually an advertisement to go to Bangla school.
Yeah.
Teach your kids some
Amar
culture.
Shonar Bangla.
Did you know you
Amazing.
could go to Bangla school and get your, you know, in high school and college, you have to do like a language if you're in arts, in Bachelor of Arts, or in high school in general. You can go to Bangla school, the one that's here in Virginia, and get your language out of the way.
So cool.
If you can pass the reading, writing, and speaking, and if you're a fluent Bengali speaker, oh, you're done.
I had no idea. It's
Yeah,
too late for
I
me.
found out from Ishram's dad the other day. He was telling us, and I was like, what the hell?
I had no idea. Man,
Yeah, it's so
things would have
cool.
been different if I had known that.
I wouldn't have taken
Can you
Japanese.
read or write? No.
I can't.
Yeah, me
I
either.
can.
I learned
I can write my name, I think, and I know like the first like 4 like
alphabets.
like letters,
Yeah.
yeah. But I can't read
Oh.
or write.
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
and then
I need to
oh.
Duolingo
Yeah.
this.
There you go. Yeah.
You can't
See?
Duolingo
No,
Bangla?
they don't have Duolingo. I tried looking it up.
Wow.
They have like Klingon, but they don't have Bangla.
They have Klingon.
Hey,
What?
yeah, they have
Hey,
like
you.
yeah.
Okay, literally, that was definitely made in America then.
Oh, for sure.
I'm
Yeah.
heated. They have Klingon.
Heated. yeah.
Latin is one thing, but Klingon.
Yeah, no, they literally have like made up like fantastical languages on
Yes,
there. So
made up.
yeah. So yeah, a Dosa station sounds sick. I need to
I
go to
think
more South
stations
Indian
at weddings is so cool.
Yeah,
'cause
I
it's
think that's
freshly
really-
made in front of you.
I think that's
Yeah.
a cool concept
Yeah.
Some
on
beef
its
food at
own.
Kavia's,
And
little
it'll
station.
like the
like
kati rolls.
it'll divert the lines
Yes.
too, because there'll be like people who want to get
Yeah,
park
yeah.
food, and then people who want to get like
Yeah.
other things.
I think
so.
straight up from all the weddings I've been to, my favorite event was Kavya and Anuja's Sangeet. It was outdoors. It was really beautiful. It was a
Outdoors
Sangeet,
on
right?
the beach golf.
It was
course,
It was
Wow,
beautifully done.
beautiful.
Like
That
all the
sounds stunning.
decorations. It for some reason the vibes were just so nice. I wanted all the events to be like that because I was so tired of like the reception hall and the ceremony halls, and
That's
I'm like
true.
so used to that. But this one
It was a movie.
felt like a movie.
It was a Hulu original.
Yeah,
What
like
is it?
honestly,
it felt like a movie. It
Felt like a movie.
It felt like a movie.
I mean, even the Garba. Like I'm not like the biggest fan of Garba because I don't do the whole circle.
We learned Garba that night.
Yeah, no, like even the Garba was fun. I think it was the setting itself was just so, it was really romantic, which is what wedding vibes should be. And it felt very weddingy. And just, yeah.
She pulled a Harry Styles.
Okay.
I just remembered because for the Garba, Kavya and Anu started the Garba, so they started dancing in the middle of that little turf field. But whatever the choreo was, Anuj messed up at some point. And if you're staring at Kavya, she like gave him the death stare. And all of us were looking at Kavya who have been on a dance team with Kavya. We all knew we know that look.
Well, according to her friends, they said that she wanted it to be like TikTok perfect wedding, which is like totally fair after seeing so many different types of wedding dances and
Once
stuff.
again, TikTok
it
has
was.
ruined this life.
It was very beautifully
From
done.
what I saw,
yes.
from the I've been seeing this to Insta reels and stuff like that, and they look stunning, really, really
I
beautiful.
mean, yeah, they
aesthetic.
looked gorgeous.
Stunning.
But I think that's why she might have looked at I think that's why she might have looked at Anuj like that, because she was like, "You messed up. Oh my god.
This is it. We're doing it again.
Run it back.
Run it back.
See you guys next year, round 2. Oh my god." Oof. So okay, aside from Kavya and Anuj's wedding, have any of you been to weddings where? Well, no, you've been to weddings outside of the state, right? So you had to stay at certain places and like overnight, whatever. Because I was gonna say, have you been to overnight weddings?
I had a chance to. My friend Risa, her the groom's side was in Texas, and so they had like the main event was in Virginia, because like that was her side, and like obviously the bride's side is like they're gonna have the bigger traditional events here. So but they had like a smaller event in Texas, and I knew a lot of people who were going, but I just was not able to for I think schedule reasons, and I still kind of regret it because I feel like it would be a different experience to be able to just kind of be able to explore a new area, but also like having to get ready and prepare for like.
I'm not
It
gonna
is
lie.
very convenient having a wedding in the same hotel
Yes.
that you're staying
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
That was nice about Kavia's, but I will say I prefer to be at home. Like even if it means driving to the venue or whatever, just coming from home and just being home just is more relaxing to me, I guess.
She just wants to poop in her own toilet.
Yeah, well, you know, I didn't want to say
I
it
mean,
out loud, but
With
yes,
a bidet.
it's true. If you know
pretty
what, if
important.
American hotels would just have bidets,
You're right.
then you would have so many more weddings at your venues. Like, I'm
It's
just
one
saying.
of the few things the Middle Eastern,
A lot of
hotels have gotten
Eastern-
right.
A lot of non-Western countries do that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Middle East is very
Middle
important.
East
Japanese toilets do
There
that.
you go.
But see, South Asian and East Asian do it differently. Ours is like a spray, whereas theirs is like attached to the toilet. And I like to attach to the toilet. I don't want to be spraying, you know? That's just
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like jet. I thought you
no,
meant
like
spray
a
as in the
hose,
setting.
like a hose. It's like
Yeah,
a hose
well,
attached
there's
to
two
the
types
wall,
of bidets: the hose one and then the attached
to the
jet up
toilet.
to the butthole. Perfect placement one.
And I prefer the jet to the butthole because
I feel like that one's
it's
more
just
effective.
easier.
Yeah.
It is. Well, no. The hose can be effective if you angle it, but it's
Hose
like
is just
why
more
would you want-
versatile. But
why would you wanna
need more
angle
work?
it?
You need more work. You gotta.
But I feel like in this scenario, power is more important.
They're both
Then-
powerful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
I think
it's
the
the same.
angling is the most important part. And
Yeah.
the bidet has the perfect angle, or the,
Mm,
the
no,
s-
no, the-
attached one.
Technically, the hose has a better angle because you can move it around. You have to move yourself around when it comes to the bidet that's attached.
Well, I'm twerking on the toilet.
Yeah,
I'm fine. I'm
that's you
fine.
moving
Doing
around.
windmills.
Okay.
I'm
Back
practicing.
to weddings.
That's why I'm always sweating after the bathroom.
New topic change. The days. What side are you on?
That's the next episode. Bidets.
bidets.
Spray
The title of
bidets
this
and
one
jet.
is
Should
wedding
they be?
/ bidets.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh man.
The next step is to get bidets that speak to us, like the ones in Japan.
Oh god.
This is unrelated, but I did go. I had a client shoot at this home in McLean that they like totally refurnished from the bottom up. It looks like an LA house in like a McLean neighborhood. All the other houses look like shit. So
Oh,
it
like
looks really nice.
Nearby's
It was like a all mirrored house. So every wall was a giant glass mirror you can see outside of. So
Whoa.
terrible security system.
That sounds
It
Terrible.
Have
sounds
you seen
absolutely terrible.
I
Twilight?
would
That sounds
hate
like
that.
the Twilight
Yeah.
house.
It sounds like every millionaire that's actually a serial killer's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah,
Where
Yeah.
the poor girl falls in love or gets like
And then-
Stockholm syndrome, kidnapped, whatever.
Yikes.
Just
Anyway,
like glass
this house, the realtor was talking to me and she was so excited. Like, yo, look at this toilet. And it was like literally a Japanese toilet that's like automated. It talks to you. It opens up,
Amazing.
flushes for you and everything. I was like, wow, you got straight from Japan. I can tell.
You know, the only
putting
other
that on
place,
page 1 of the brochure.
the only other place I've seen a bidet at that's not our house is your friend Amy's
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah.
I was like, we were in New York, this small little apartment, so cute, so cozy. And I go into the bathroom and I literally start smiling at the toilet. I've never smiled at a toilet so hard. I look down, I'm like, I'm going to poop well this weekend. I was so happy. Yeah, bidets have changed my life.
Girls just want one thing and it's disgusting.
So
Bidets.
the plot,
It's
the
opposite
plot of
disgusting.
the whole entire moral of this podcast is marry well marry the right guy because the right guy will give you a bidet. And that's what Rahib did for me.
Wise words.
Thanks, babe.
Wise
That's
words.
Thanks.
That's gonna be your advice in the future when you go to
My
like weddings.
advice.
It's like buy a bidet.
Oh my
The lovely
God.
wedding book.
That's what we should do.
Exactly.
We're
Seriously,
serious about this bidet
Advice
campaign.
Marriage advice.
2024.
There you
It's
go.
good for the men and the girls.
What has Joe Biden done for people without bidets?
I know.
What is Sleepy Joe
What is Joe
done?
Biden gonna do about?
Let's not
Bidets.
bring politics into this, guys. Come on.
Oh, we must. It's my political campaign.
This is
Exactly.
the
We're running
launch.
with this
This is
slogan.
the soft launch.
Soft
This is a
launch.
soft launch,
You heard it
yeah.
here first. Episode 5 of the R&R RTZ podcast.
This is kind of side note, but also still about weddings, sort of. The whole like Twitter trend right now, like marry inside your own culture because of whatever. I'm loving the different tweets I'm seeing. Like the whole like marry the only what? How does it start?
It was something like
Marry someone within your culture because how am I going to...
Explain the
Explain,
gate thing.
paying
blah, blah, blah.
$700 to
To
get
get
my
into-
shoes back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
that's what it was.
yeah.
Yes, I love those tweets. They're
Yeah.
so fun.
How am I going to explain getting rice pulled over my face by an old man?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
You just make romantic
But
eye
it's
contact
funny,
with the
but also like
rice pour.
no, we should
A rice
always.
pull.
I'm a huge fan of weddings that are multicultural. like Astra's wedding sounds amazing because it was multicultural. There was one other wedding I went to and I cannot remember right now that was multicultural. It's fun. And then even Kavya and Anujas, yes, they're both Indian, but they're different parts of India. And those even coming together are so different and so fun. And the intermingling. Ours was just straight up Bengali and Bengali. Because the differences between where his family's from and my family's from is so minor.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. Like, when you're mixing cultures, obviously the differences can cause some kind of friction between the families. Oh, we want this ceremony, and then the other side might not understand that reasoning. I thought that wouldn't happen between two Bengali weddings, but no,
it did.
God damn it!
Because my mom wanted to have, not my mom. I wanted to have all the traditional, like the hulud, the mindi, all that stuff. But my mindi, I didn't want it big. I wanted it just with the bridesmaids, very small. Even the eyebrow pat, I didn't even know what that was.
I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, like I still don't know. It's like basically like your family, your community celebrates the girl, and it's like a second mindi or a second hulud almost. Almost like a sangeet. They sing and they don't dance, but they sing in circles and do henna all day. So it's like our version of a sangeet.
And they give money.
Yeah. Oh my God! I was bathed in cash. Yeah,
they
literally they were throwing cash at me.
Where's that money now?
It went to Japan.
This was 2019.
This was 2019. It all went to Japan. You know what? Osman was the first person with a bidet before any of us, and he did.
That's
change.
why he's the visionary.
He literally changed. His parents changed Rahib's life.
They really did.
Made him very bi-curious.
Shout out Osman's parents.
And I'm just curious.
All right.
I realized one thing. We went to a wedding recently, last week, a few days ago. But wedding dances, there is a significant difference between
a dancer and a non-dancer.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
I thought we were still talking about like cultural differences.
No, straight up.
Between Bengali and Indian and...
No, I realized because like from a dancer's perspective, I'm like, okay, weddings are easier. You're supposed to make it fun. You're supposed to make everyone who's dancing have fun, and everyone in the audience have fun, and the bride and groom to have fun, obviously. So you make it simpler, you make it everything. But there's still a very big level between dancers who are doing that versus just your friends coming together and putting on a move. I didn't realize that until like, oh my God, I'm watching this wedding, and there's no
one
insulting to
smiling
them or anything, but
there was no blocking.
There was no blocking, no formation.
Well, no, it's not even that, but you know how like when we dance, even like Monisha's not even a dancer, but she gets it. Like she should be smiling, she should be amped up, she should have some energy and do the moves. Like there's just a different like vibe to it when we're all dancing and we're having so much fun with it, and then the people who are watching are having fun. Whereas like the dancers at this most recent wedding we went to, they were just kind of like
I mean, they weren't dancers, obviously. So I'm not knocking them or anything. I'm just saying that.
Dancing wise, it wasn't bad. It's just the energy.
For some people, I think dancing is really uncomfortable, right? Especially public dancing,
definitely.
And they're put in the spot of they want to do something special for whoever they're dancing for.
Yeah,
but they don't want to be like, oh, I don't want to do it.
It's still very admirable when your friends come together.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like his brothers and my brother dancing, they're definitely not comfortable, but they still did it because they care.
Yeah.
I think it looked great.
They did look good. But
my revelation was just that I used to be like, I wasn't taking wedding dances seriously. And then I saw like how bad it could be or how good it would be. Like, okay, this actually does take effort to make look good.
Yeah, I experienced kind of the both sides as well this year, because the last time I danced for a wedding before my friend Astra's wedding this year was for y'all's wedding, and I was very intimidated because like everybody on the team or everybody who was in the bridesmaids and groom side for the most part were like they had some kind of dance background. Speaking is difficult today. But
well, yes and no.
Yeah, but
I think it was 4 dancers and then the 5 of you,
and then 6 non-dancers.
6 non-dancers.
But like the being able to not have to worry about choreography, not having to having enough dance practice time was really nice. And like if anything, I think I was just more worried about messing up in comparison to everybody else and like ruining the flow. But it was so much fun. But like that energy that everyone provided definitely gave, you know, a lot of confidence to me, especially the day of.
You looked great.
Yeah, and I had so much fun dancing. And then this year, it
didn't
was a
have
whole
fun.
no. I had so much fun as well, and I think it was because I was able to bring a lot of my experiences from y'all's wedding to.
She's a veteran.
Yeah,
Aw.
and also I think it's a big like it's what y'all were saying before, where it's like a big part is like being invested in making sure that like whatever you're doing is just gonna be a fun time for your friend. Like y'all are getting together. So we all had just like the maid of honor had gone on like YouTube and just found like choreo videos, and we've like narrowed down like a list of songs that we approved with the bride, and she was like, yeah, these songs look great. We practiced them for like weeks and like recorded ourselves, and we did what we could. At the final product, yeah, there were a lot of mess ups, but when we see the video back, it's still so much fun to see because you remember like all the memories. Like somebody on Discord actually like last week made a joke of like, hey, what time is everyone meeting again? And somebody's like, sorry, I can't make it. Like I have a, you know, conflict at 8 or something. And it's because I think we just missed meeting up just to do these like small practices. So like seeing the difference between working with like people who are professional, like who are like professional dancers like you guys, and who have the knowledge of being able to teach people versus like a group of people who are interested in dancing and just like learning from the outside. There is like this cool compare and contrast between the two.
That's a really good point.
Yeah. But I would say both experiences were really, really fun. And I actually got to use one experience to help with the other. So
that's so nice.
Being able to dance at weddings is really fun. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of that.
You should have seen me at the wedding we went to this weekend. The groomsmen and bridesmaids were all dancing, and we're like at the corner back table. BT dubs, I saw Busha there.
Hey.
We're in the corner back table, and I'm over here pumping my arms, dancing along, and all the aunties and uncles around us are just like this.
Yeah.
Staring at the dancers.
It really is
and I'm like, yeah.
It's like how you make the vibes, because it's like Usher's wedding, like my friend's wedding was really small in comparison to like other Desi weddings. It was like very small, not very small, but like it was like 100-ish people. So for us, that's not very big. It's not very small either, but it was like a nice in between. But like the dance floors both nights were super lit because all the kids just went up onto the dance floor, and like the bridesmaids and the bride and groom themselves also made sure to make appearances. And like, yeah, it like, even though it was like a really small group of us, like we made the full hour of dancing like work. So it was yeah. It's all about just.
I'm glad you had a good dancing experience, because Prithvi, I know, is done with Bollywood dancing at weddings. This man's defeated, broken.
I mean, that's just a personal thing. It goes back to what I was saying, right? Like, you love doing things for your friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be able to say you contributed to their wedding. You made their day special. But if one of my friends gets married, I'm going to push really hard for a Western
hip hop.
Why don't you do like a one song?
Have you heard of
performance?
Rihanna?
Drake? You wanna dance with some Drake?
21.
I need a
50 Cent.
Do some for me.
Candy shop. Let's get it started.
Have you considered just throwing some ass?
Soulja Boy. Oh
Kiki.
I haven't been to an American wedding where there's a performance, so
Yeah.
I do want to see one of those.
Yeah.
Me too.
I only see them online. It's like there's like
there was a
professional
famous
cheerleader gets
one.
married and they do a performance.
Or do you remember that famous one, like a viral one that was like a while ago, that they did like they like recreated like The Office's Jim and Pam's wedding, and they did like what song was it?
Was it Staying Alive? Or was that another episode?
Was it Miss Independent?
I was gonna say
It was a Neo, right? It was a Neo song.
I think it was. I forgot the song. It sounds like I feel like that.
Was it
sounds
Closer?
right?
Closer.
Maybe. No.
If it was the song from the show, I think it was Miss Independent.
Then maybe it was. I know they were just recreating that scene from like that wedding scene from The Office.
I was gonna say Jessie didn't have anything like that at her wedding either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only American.
Well, she had like
recently.
she had like a slow dance, and then the dance floor was open.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry, what was it?
Okay.
Yeah, no more from you. Go ahead.
The closest thing that I've seen recently is, have you guys seen the Quick Style
Oh yeah,
Wedding dance
that was
video.
wild.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's
the
technically
Kala
South
Chashma.
Asian.
Wait,
That's
'cause,
South
like,
Asian.
What's quick
but it's
style?
Like,
They're like-
so it's a dance crew. I think they're European. I forget exactly.
They're
what
Yeah.
based in Norway.
Norway, right? Yeah.
Oh.
They were
and
the
I-
one
Bunch of multi-ethnic people. A lot of
Yeah,
brown
so
people.
the members in this crew they're all professional dancers, and I think one of the members of the crew
Yeah.
is
yeah.
South Asian.
Yeah, and
they
were-
married.
he-
It was
his-
his wedding, right?
his wedding.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they had a wedding performance, obviously,
of course.
but it was like professional dancers.
You
Yeah.
know this
And it
one.
was-
it's the one that went
It's like the
viral.
Kala
and-
Chashma,
Kala
and
Chashma.
then
guy
at the
trips
end
and
it's
they
a
go
little
Oh,
The one I
Yeah, that's
definitely
where
did
the-
not steal
that's where
from
the guy-
Kavya's piece.
Tripping
Gotcha.
gig
Yes.
comes from.
Is it like
They did it. They actually did that gig at the wedding we were at this
Oh
weekend.
yeah, they did
amazing.
do that.
The
Yeah.
groomsmen did that whole gig thingy.
We were in the
Yeah,
corner.
this
We
is-
didn't see it.
Unrelated,
No.
but like we over Thanksgiving, me and my cousins and family,
yeah, I saw that.
we for some reason just watched that video and then we just perfected it over the course of 5 days over Thanksgiving. Every single
that's
night we were like, you
amazing.
guys want to practice Kala Chashma? we were like very excited about it. So yeah,
It's
that's a
fun
very
day.
popular
Oh my God.
video.
I
It's
am
like,
loving these trends with the Indian
Yeah.
songs.
but it's a
Oh
night
God.
that was like, I would love to do something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I saw I had the most wildest experience. So my friend Usra's older sister actually got married a month before, and their groomsmen did some of the most I have never seen such dedication than their massive circle of friends that had come out together, and they actually did a whole comedy skit at their wedding.
Oh.
They did a judging competition where they all did different skits, and the groom is a big fan of oldies 60s Beatles and old school rock kind of music, and so they did this carpool karaoke where they
wow.
had cut out pictures of they did a car cutout, and they cut out pictures of the groom and the bride, and then they did different dance routines to popular songs like Queen, and they were shooting shirts into the audience. I think one shirt had yeah, they had they were just throwing shirts to the audience, and I think one of the shirts I saw had the groom's face photoshopped over Tupac. It was hilarious. They did this whole setup, and then after that they did this whole dance performance too. They did Kali Bali, they did the Kala Chashma. It was so much fun, and I was it's really awesome to see people do a little bit of a twist or adding something
unique.
new.
I love
All we had was
seeing-
the shoe game.
I love that shoe game.
You guys could have done a
Okay.
great comedy
We
skit.
did it in a comedy
You
skit.
know, I had an
Okay,
idea.
we literally had our own first dance, which was so special for just us.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was really
Okay,
and then
but
we could
I-
add a comedy skit.
I love it when the groomsmen and bridesmaids really go all in.
Mhm,
It's not okay, we're just here to dance, or oh, we're just here to be here. The practices you guys put in, and all that other stuff, and that's the whole skit situation. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It even if it wasn't funny, which it was very funny. Don't take my words out of context.
Yeah,
Even if
she's
it
lying.
wasn't
She's
funny.
so lying. She did not
just,
laugh once.
Knowing that they put that much effort for
Yeah.
someone they love is just
Yeah.
really sweet to see. And it
It
was
makes you wanna
a huge
cry.
group. I literally think there was 12 or 13 maybe I'm over exaggerating. I think there's at least 10. They all were super invested. They they did a slideshow where they were they photoshopped both of the bride and groom's faces over famous characters in history. They
Oh
were
my
they were actually at the Crusades and they didn't even see each
actually
other.
at the
Or
They almost died during the bubonic plague.
yeah, it was so funny. They did a really
Oh
really
my
good job, and they had a narrator doing the whole thing.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
Oh my
that
gosh.
was the first time I'd seen
Steal this
the,
idea from my next wedding.
yeah.
I think it's your next one.
Excuse me?
What we should do is
What?
have a live
Your
podcast.
vow renewal,
Right.
vow
Just
Live
make
podcast.
everyone
Vow
everyone
renewal.
listen
Okay,
to
I don't like this
1-hour-long
joke.
Each audience has to
podcast.
come up and
Absolutely
say a
not.
quick-
vow renewals.
Okay,
Actual vow renewals.
You mean at
There
our
you go.
vow renewals?
There
Because
we
I
go.
don't like this joke.
There you go.
said
I
what
saved it.
I said what I meant.
Yeah. Okay. You get remarried. Trust me. No one's gonna want to marry you.
Sorry. If I get married at my wedding, I'd like to have a
Okay.
podcast. It will be 1 hour reading. of,
You-
like,
1 hour reading. 1 hour reading of
Like-
the episode of Community where Pierce dies, and they do his will.
Okay, Prithvi.
also,
reading.
semen.
Listen.
Jeff, did you know you're gay? No, semen.
And clap.
Okay, Prithvi. Your wedding is gonna happen when you and Rahib get married. Okay, I know that's gonna
That's
happen.
what he meant by
That's
his
what he
next
meant by his
one.
next
Yes.
wedding.
I
Good.
told you I was bi-curious the other day, but now I'm just curious.
Have you guys heard of this green velvet couch thing?
Oh my God, Monisha has a green velvet couch.
Actually.
Do you know what the implication is?
Oh.
Have you heard of the implication?
Oh,
No.
Moon's
Green
about to
a
find out and
bisexual
return
color?
it.
Yeah, no, apparently there's like there's some
Oh.
alignment between
That's
green
okay.
velvet couches and bi-curiosity.
Hey,
Oh.
we love you regardless.
And this is a proven fact by science.
Proven fact by science.
Okay,
Which
We're
science?
discovering new
The
things about me.
science.
Okay,
today,
I will say-
guess.
now that he brings it up, I did see a TikTok on that.
That's wild.
That if you have a green velvet couch, you're
I know
bi
things.
or you're a lesbian. So you know what's funny? She has an ottoman too. What does that mean?
Oh,
That means she has taste and good foot.
good foot
Ex-
placement.
Good foot
blood
placement.
circulation in my
Blood,
legs.
blood
Oh.
circulation.
Yeah.
I know what the ottoman's for.
yeah.
You
Feet?
Wait.
You
rest- I
Selling
rest my
feet pics.
No, you
That's
put
what
your
she-
legs up so it's better access.
To what?
Hey,
she
yeah.
can
So you have
poop on the
vagina.
ottoman
For the bidet.
for the- That's not how bidets work.
That's
They don't
not-
stretch that far from the bathroom. But if they could, you never need to go to the
Invented.
toilet. On
Do
the
you-
go toilet.
Do you guys believe in like seat covers, like those fluffy seat covers? I feel like it's weird because if it gets even a little
No.
wet,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
ruined.
yeah.
You
That makes me
can't.
very paranoid.
Yeah, it makes me
It's
paranoid
a
too.
terrible
But
feeling.
people have
Wait, you
them.
mean on the top?
No,
cover, right?
I'm talking about
on
the bottom, on the
toilet
actual
seat,
toilet seat.
where you put your butt.
Ew.
Oh.
Yeah, where you put your butt. That's people have that.
No.
No, that's weird.
That's weird. I've seen
I
like
think
some
on the
online.
top seat,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, on the-
Depending on the length
even
of
The
the
top seat's
you know.
fine because
as long as it doesn't
won't
go all the
touch
way
your
under.
butt. Yeah.
I know what you mean though, all the way under where it touches the inside of the top.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want that. But like a little bit partially around the rim is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Last unrelated thing about toilets. You guys use the little stool to raise your
Okay,
knees.
Squatty
we had
potties.
one,
Squatty
but
potties.
so we had one, but the
No.
stool itself was too high, so we don't have a regular, like a small one.
Okay.
But you recommend it, don't you?
I do. No,
Yeah.
it's healthy for your bowel
It
movements.
is, yeah.
I do not.
Sometimes I do put my legs
I almost
up.
won one in a Secret Santa and I messed up.
Yeah.
You should have taken that one.
Should
But-
have beat that guy up.
I was gonna say it's like an ottoman for your. It's like a bathroom ottoman.
Yeah.
So
There you
just to
go.
full circle that.
bathroom autumn.
Full circle that before we move on.
Circling back.
Circling back. I'll ping you on that one.
I'll ping
Bring
you
it
on
back.
that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for coming and doing this podcast with us. We had so much fun talking to you all. I hope our viewers and listeners also enjoy the audio and the visuals that we'll be posting later on. Hope you guys come back for another podcast and hope you had fun with us.
And with that, we'll say good night.
Good
Or good morning, wherever you guys are.
night.
Good night.